Hey there, this is DM Suja and you are listening to my notes. Today's notes are on the marriage between the banking class, the Mercantile banking class, and the government and what all that meant. Back before the invention of the Bank of England, the kings used to spend their money like it was hot. Because it was. They could print as much as they wanted, and that's what they did, and that's how they levied their power. The problem is that's not very credit-worthy to do. You know, your government shouldn't be randomly printing money out of thin air just for the hell of it. So the kings used to go in debt, and basically it was their way of going broke, quote unquote. And this is actually a problem for the kings because they don't know how to handle their risk and their rewards. And so they really didn't like being in that position. On the other side of this little token, you had the banking elite class with their pyramid schemes of credit. And they had the problem of, okay, their internal money only circulated within their internal circle. It wasn't powerful enough to be circulated as a currency of a nation state or a sovereign. So the sovereign, the kingdom and the governmental bodies and this mercantile private money was always at a clash. What happened with the Bank of England brought that clash to basically a standstill. So here's what went down. The Bank of England basically is a private-public partnership between the banking class, the mercantile class basically, and the kingdoms, the sovereigns, okay? To bail the kings out, the banking class was granted one of the most time-honored traditions of the sovereigns, of the kings, which was to print money. And then by doing so, the banks and their notes gained the network effects, shall we say, of being the currency of the sovereigns and of the nation state. And in this marriage between the banks, right, and the sovereigns is what has driven basically modern society from that point on to this point forward until you had the invention of blockchain. So the banking elite class determined basically very bureaucratically, obviously, because they're the bureaucrats of the system, you know, how to measure and take risk on behalf of the government. And the government gave them the power to just circulate their notes as the currency. So you will note, because of blockchain, because of the fact that blockchain has no network effects driven by the sovereign or an elite class of bankers, it has the network effects of the population that uses it. So it is therefore the money of the populace, right? And it is a system that clears all of it, right? It is a decentralized system that clears, you know, the debts and credits of everybody on board, okay? So knowing that, you can see blockchain and Bitcoin as a political revolution against the banking elite class and the sovereigns who have, for a long time, controlled the monetary unit and the monetary standard for any given economy. So in this way, blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these things are a political revolution, and it's a whole separate paradigm against the authority of a selected few. And on that, I want to end today's little podcast. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe.